So I think we're maybe missing three. Looks like Peebs and Ray. And who else?
Yummy.
Yummy, okay. Okay, we can go ahead and begin a little bit, just get you to talk a little bit about organization for lesson 2. So were you able to divide the signs into one-handed signs and two-handed signs?
Not yet. Not the same. Not yet.
Okay, okay, then I want to hold up on that a little bit and lecture a little bit and give you some exercises to do.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we'll wait till everybody comes on though. So I noticed that internet, maybe the situation with coronavirus may be getting worse in the Philippines. Is that right? Or I don't know. Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
maybe 7,000 cases for several days. So I hope everything. Yeah, before a month ago, I think it was around 1,000, 2,000 every day. Now up to 7,000.
Jasmine saying yes, and it's 8,000 yesterday.
So take care.
How many cases are in Vietnam, Dr. Woody? Is it stable or what's going on with
Yeah,
you? Meng is asking.
it's pretty stable. It's gone up 2 times, but now it's back down again. Total cases for 1 year, total 2,500. So very low.
Mendes saying, are people allowed to go out? Is it kind of like as it was before, or are they quarantined?
Now you can go out, but you can't get back in.
What do you mean by you can't?
Well, that's what I mean. If you're a Vietnamese citizen, you fly in, you must quarantine for 14 to 21 days. But if I fly out, I'm not a Vietnamese citizen. I can't come back in. Okay, so only Vietnamese citizens can enter. Some foreigners who have government business can come in, but they still have to quarantine 14 days. Yeah, so it's right now, the highest number of cases in the whole year is 91 in one day, 91. But now only three to five cases every day. But Vietnam pretty much closed everything down, restaurants, churches. And so now everybody can go to restaurants and churches. Okay, we're still waiting for the three, right? Two? Marvin, who are the two?
Peebs and Ray.
Right, okay. All right. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and start a little bit, and then we can review again when Peebs and Ray come back online. All right, so when we're doing a dictionary, the first thing we want to do is divide signs into one-handed signs. Okay, then we look at the one-handed signs. And then we analyze handshake. Okay, and then the second criteria is palm orientation. Okay. The third characteristic is finger orientation. The next one is location. And usually that will give you all the signs you need to put them in order. But if you have to go on after location, then you do movement, and then non-manuals. Okay, so you should probably write that down. My information that I'm going to share with you now lists that, but it doesn't list it quite in that order. So let me put it in the chat. Okay, can everybody see on the chat? I'm having a problem with my, hold on, M's here. There it goes.
Perhaps you need a mallet. It starts with an M, and you chisel it. Shaq is saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I can't type the, okay, let's see. Now the M's typing, so okay. Okay, this is basically what I said. So if you can save that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is pull up a file. Okay, can you see the file I just pulled up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first page is not that important, but we're going to look at some signs from Ho Chi Minh City Sign Language for part of our exercise. Okay, here are the signs. So the first thing we're going to do is analyze if the sign is one-handed or two-handed. So the first sign is ship goes forward. It's a verb. Is that one-handed or two-handed?
Two hands. Two hands, and not saying one hand.
One hand, ship goes forward.
Ship. It's one hand, right?
Looks like this. How many hands?
Sorry, that's two hands. Sorry, my mistake. Not
Yeah.
the same.
Okay. All right, the next sign is ballpoint pen. How many hands? One hand or two? One hand,
hand.
right. So we want to take this sign out and analyze it first. Ballpoint pen. Okay. What about bus? One or two hands?
Two.
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 We don't want to work on that sign yet. What about most? One hand or two hands?
One hand.
So we want to work on that. We want to pull that one out. Eraser. Two hands, so we don't want to analyze that one yet. Paternal uncle. One hand, so we do want to analyze that now. White. One hand or two hands?
One hand.
One. Right. Two-wheel vehicle inches forward. So
One hand.
one hand, right? One hand, right? Okay. Eat star apple. Okay, so we include that in the one-handed sign. Two-wheel vehicle goes forward. One-handed sign. Wrong, one hand or two hands?
One hand.
Yes, who?
One hand.
Yes, so we want to analyze that now. Backpack.
Two.
Two, we don't want to analyze that yet. Smell. Smell?
One hand.
Yes.
One hand.
Backpack is two hands. And smell is one hand. Okay, ship.
One hand.
Two hands. Two hands. Yes. Okay. Shoulder book bag. This one is two. And this one is 1. Okay, warm. Two, yes. Now the next one's a little tricky. You want to start with the very first part of the sign. So this sign is the first part of the sign two-handed or one-handed?
Two-handed.
Two-handed. So we don't want to analyze this sign yet. Okay? So is that clear? Okay. So now let's go, and then we want to list the one-handed sign. Okay, let's make sure all of these signs are one-handed. Ballpoint pen, one-handed. Most, one-handed. Paternal uncle, one-handed. White, one-handed. Two-wheel vehicle, inches forward, one-handed. Eat star apple, one-handed. Two-wheel vehicle goes forward, one-handed. Wrong, one-handed. Yes, Ming?
So for the sign white, if we can go back up, sir.
Yes.
For the sign white, I just want to take a look at that and scroll up. I see for the sign white, it's actually going towards us, not going down. I'm just wondering about the arrow,
Well,
how it's moved.
unless it goes straight out. But unless you draw the sign from an angle, you're not going to be able to show that it's straight out.
So the arrow then, this is Shaq. One moment. So that's the sign for white. And then two vehicle. So it shows a dotted line. Does that mean it pauses, or is it
In
a
segments.
straight?
In segments. That says two-wheel vehicle inches forward or goes slowly. Now, if you take a look at,
But it's two-handed. Sorry, that's
two-handed, one hand. How many hands? It's not this. It's one hand. Okay, take a look at this sign. So this is the normal way for a motorcycle or a bicycle. But if it's going slowly, it's in stages. So those two signs are going to have to be distinguished by movement. Okay. Wrong, one-handed. Who, one-handed. Smell, one-handed. And book bag carry on the shoulder, one-handed. Okay. So we've done the first step. Let me go back to the or am I not? Okay. Let me stop the sharing for a second. Okay.
We'll just switch interpreter.
Yes. So now let's go back to the chat. So the first thing we need to do is divide one-handed signs and two-handed signs. That's what we just did with the data that we have, right? Okay, the next one here is we analyze the hand shape of one-handed signs. Okay, so you remember from your phonology course, sign language phonology course. Let me bring this up. All right, let me bring this up here. Oh, excuse me for a second. I started to share it too soon. Let me go back. All right. Okay, so you probably don't have this with you, but basically, here's a Handshape chart for Thai Sign Language. So what you do is you go through this chart and you find the signs with the first hand shape, which is, oops, this hand shape. Okay. All right, so we want to find all the signs in the data with this hand shape. So let's go back. Okay, does this sign, ballpoint pen, have this handshake? No, okay.
No.
What about the next sign? We're looking for this handshake. Not the same handshake. Right?
Different, yes.
So we go to the next sign, which is paternal uncle. Still not that hand shape. White, not the hand shape we're looking for. Two-wheel vehicle inches forward, still not the right hand shape. What about each star apple? Is that the right handshake?
Not
Different.
saying yes.
Nat, you saying it's different? Or the same?
It's the same handshake.
Same handshake. Me?
Sorry. We're looking for this handshake, and this is the handshake for the sign star apple. So
Yes,
The-
yes. Right now,
that's
we're
the
only
same
looking at handshake, not looking at anything else. Yes, Ming?
there are two handshapes for the sign star apple. You have this first, and then this handshake.
No, no. This doesn't open it and close. This basically is like this, or a very small closure. It's not two separate handshapes. Okay, show me the sign for apple. Okay. Well, are those really two separate hand shapes? If so, then you start with the first hand shape. Okay, well, you start with the first hand shape. What is the first hand shape? Yeah? So it's not this hand shape then. How do you start the sign, Ming? Well, I can't tell. Which way are you starting it? Which hand shape?
This is
Okay,
the first one.
that's your first hand shape then. That wouldn't be this hand shape. Yeah. All right, the next three signs, this one, and this one, none of those have this hand shape. Okay, so that should be the only sign. So our next chart should start with each star apple. You see? In the beginning, it was one of the later signs. Or right here. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th sign on the list. But now, because we're looking at hand shape, we move it to the first sign on the list. Okay. So here, it's late in the list. And in the next chart that we make, we move it to the first sign on the list. Right there. I see some puzzle expressions.
Sorry, what's that again?
Pardon me?
Sorry, what's that again? What expressions?
I say, I see some puzzled expressions. So do you understand?
Ray is saying
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Thanks,
all right. So now we're finished with this handshake. We go to the next handshake. Can you see the Handshape chart now, or do I have to close it down? Can you see this and this and this? Okay. All right, so the next hand shape we look at is this. Okay, so let's go back. Sorry. Oops, go back up. All right. So does that sign have this hand shape?
Not signing is different.
Different. Okay. What about most? Sorry. We're looking for this hand shape and we see this hand shape. Oops. Same or different? Different. So we go on to the next one. Same?
Not
Same,
signing, yes.
okay? So
Then
now we
signing,
want to
yes.
put paternal uncle in the next chart. And we also want to put wrong in the next chart. Okay. All right, so we have paternal uncle and wrong. And here we have each star apple, paternal uncle, and wrong. Okay. Now we don't know how to handle paternal uncle and wrong. We're only looking at handshake now. Right? So first handshake was this. That gave us one sign, each star apple. The second handshake was this. This gave us two new signs, paternal uncle and wrong. Okay. Yes, Nat, you have a question?
I'm still arranging my. How can we arrange the hand shapes? That just this way.
This is a chart. Can you see it now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so you first have this hand shape, and then you have this hand shape, and then you have with the thumb extended. Okay, so now we're going to look for the thumb extended hand shape. Okay, here are the signs again. Oops, sorry. Most. Okay, so we include most now.
So this is the interpreter. Are you trying to change your screen? Because we see the chart, but we don't see the examples.
Okay, well, that's what I'm trying to ask. I tried to find out about that. So let me go back. Okay. All right, here are the examples. I hope. What are a second here. Okay, can you see the examples now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So ballpoint pen begins with this handshake. So it's not this handshake. Most, however, has this most has this handshake. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
It's the same. Yeah.
Thank you for telling me about that. Okay. Paternal uncle has this handshake. We've already handled it, so we don't need to worry about it. White has this handshake. Two-wheel vehicle, this handshake. Star apple, this handshake. So no more, sorry. Aye. Sorry. Where's most again? Okay, so most is the first sign we see with his handshake. And then we go down and we see who with this handshake. Okay, so most, who, and book bag, shoulder carry. So 3, okay? So let's go down to the next way, organized by handshake. Okay, so most, who, and book bag are added. Okay? All right, let's see what the time is now. Okay, time to take a break now. So let's break for 15 minutes. And we'll come back and we'll go through the hand shapes again. After we finish this section, I'm going to go back and we'll go through lesson 2 that you've been working on. And we'll try to do the same thing with lesson 2. Okay? All right.
Sorry, did you just send it to me, sir? Because
No,
there's nothing
I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to send it now. I just wanted to know if you were able to see part of what we discussed in the lecture. The slides with examples from Ho Chi Minh City Sign Language and the slides with the example of the hand shapes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did see
Okay, so those 2 I'm sending on to you now.
that. Okay.
It's taking a while to upload. I'll send it in a minute.
All right, sir.
Okay, sending it now.
All right, sir.
Okay,
I've
thank you.
sent it to the group. I've sent it to the group.
Okay, so I just wanted everybody to know that I've sent you just what I was showing before to Peebs, and Peebs is sending it to you individually so you can practice with that. Okay, now let's go back to, sorry. Okay, so let me just review this very quickly. Okay, so connecting this to the exercise you'll soon have. Okay, when you have figure 1, these are the list of signs that you want to alphabetize, put in the right order. So in your exercise, you will pick all the signs from lesson 2. All the vocabulary. Okay. And then the first thing that you will do is you will divide the signs into one-handed signs and two-handed signs. And you will work on the one-handed signs. So step 1, list the one-handed signs. Okay, so all the signs from lesson 2 that are one-handed, you will list. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And signs like stick, two-handed signs, you will put in the two-handed section. We won't analyze those. Okay, is that clear? So your first step is to list the one-handed signs in lesson 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that will be your first chart. Actually, it'll be your second chart, figure 2. Okay. And then the next step will be to organize the hand shapes by, organize the signs by their hand shapes. And I've sent you this to help you. Okay, can you see the chart of hand shapes?
Sorry, Jasmine saying we're doing this FSL or Vietnam sign.
Right now, I'm practicing with Vietnamese signs. you're going to do it with lesson 2, FSL signs. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So, so this is the Handshape chart. So you start with the first hand shape, which is this hand shape. Then you move across the row. This hand shape, this hand shape, this hand shape, until you hit the end. Then you go to the next row. You go to the next row. Okay? And list the hand shapes in that order.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all right. So basically, let's finish with this example from Vietnamese signs, Ho Chi Minh City signs. Okay, so we go back. Nah. Hitting Excel rather than Word, sorry. Okay, so let me try to pull this up on screen for you. Okay, do you see the sign examples? East Star Apple, paternal uncle, most. You see those? All right. So far
sir.
we've gone through the first hand shape, the second hand shape, and the third hand shape. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we're gonna. Oops. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. All right. So now we go back up, and we see what other hand shapes are there. Okay. The first sign is ballpoint pen. Okay. So now to save time, you don't have to look through all of the hand shapes. But you remember the hand shapes are organized by 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and 4 fingers, but also 0 fingers. Okay? So remember, we don't count the thumb. So how many fingers does this hand shape have? Not including the thumb. No, not the thumb, not the thumb, not the thumb. One, yes, correct. So you go back to the see where it says fingers on the left-hand column. 0, 0, 1. One finger, right? So this hand shape? No. This hand shape? No. This hand shape? No. No, no, no. Getting closer. There it is. Okay? So this is the next hand shape you include. Okay? So what we got here again is this hand shape, right? Finished. Then we move on to this hand shape. And we have paternal uncle and wrong. Then we move on to the next hand shape, which is most and who and book bag on the shoulder. And then the next sign is this one. Okay, so now we've got them ordered. Okay, now basically the next hand shapes are almost all the same. They are 4-fingered hand shapes. And basically it's this hand shape or this hand shape. So we can check on our chart to confirm as we go down 4-finger hand shapes. So if we had 2-finger hand shapes, those would go in next, 3-finger would go in next, but we don't have any in this data, okay? So here we go. So you'd put this hand shape like in white first, and then this hand shape like in cargos. Okay, and then you're basically finished with organizing signs by hand shape. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for right now. So first I'll ask if you have any questions on these signs. And then I'm going to send you back to lesson 2. And I want you to divide into groups and set up the one-handed signs and the two-handed signs.
So each group, sir, will be responsible for one hand and the other for the 2 hands.
Well, actually, I'd like you to, each group to be responsible for both, because I want to make sure that when you're finished, you come up with the same result. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is divide the signs into one hand and two hand. but only focus on the one-handed signs. Don't focus on the two-handed signs. Okay? And then once you're finished with that, we come back into the general session and have each group present the one-handed signs. Okay? So how do you want to break into groups? And do you all know how to cut and paste or copy and paste signs?
So they're saying same groups.
Okay, so what I want you to do is for all the one-handed signs, just copy them and then paste them into a file. Don't worry right now about the handshapes. First of all, I just want to make sure that you have all of the one-handed signs correct. Then after you finish that, we'll come back and talk about handshapes. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop sharing now. And let me give you, let's take 30 minutes to, we'll come back actually at 2 o'clock. If you finish before 2, we can come back and discuss. But if you, so right now, just ignore the Vietnamese sign and only focus on lesson 2.
Okay, lesson 2.
Yes. Okay. You can divide into 3 groups if you want. So 2 groups or 3 groups.
Yes, we're doing but we're both doing the same lesson 2.
Yes, yes. You're both doing the same thing and you'll compare results.
Okay, they're figuring out how to divide the group now.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Woody. This is Meng.
All right.
Our group is done.
Okay.
So we've arranged it all by one-handed signs. So we're
Okay.
done with that.
Okay. What about the other group?
I guess we'll just have to wait. They're not done. They have some technical problems with their laptop, I think.
Okay.
And some of them have weak internet. So
Okay.
they'll follow along. Dr. Woody, this is Nat. I have a question.
Yes. Uh-huh.
With the hand shape A or an S, does location come into play at some point? Because A, like yesterday, tomorrow,
Yes.
that kind of
Yes.
thing. So
Yes.
it's just,
But first of all, you do hand shape. Second, palm orientation. Third, finger orientation. Fourth, location. So yes, we will talk about that.
So we haven't touched on it yet. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So we're just arranging it for now.
Yeah. So for
But-
example, say you have this handshake. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
you can have this orientation, or 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 you can have this, this, this. So all of this will be considered. So yeah, I don't want to confuse you though, because if you try to learn too many steps at one time, it will be confusing. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Also to mention that the way we organize the 5 parameters is important. The Hong Kong Dictionary of Hong Kong Sign Language, they do hand shape and then location and then orientation. But that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because orientation is dependent on hand shape. So it should be hand shape, orientation, and then location. But we'll talk about that as we go through the course. Yeah. Okay, are you in the same group as Meng Nat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The other group not back yet, or?
Yeah. Everyone from the first group is here. So whoever's missing is in group 2.
Okay, okay.
Jasmine, Yami, Shaq, Ray, I believe, and Rex.
Okay. All right, you want to show me your, we can just go through your hand shapes? I'm not sorry, your one-handed signs?
Okay, I can share that now. I'll show you that now, sir.
Okay.
Now? Okay.
Yes. Okay,
It starts off with this.
yes,
Right.
yes,
So it's the first
Yes.
sign, right?
yes.
Next, you have this, tomorrow, yesterday,
Okay.
all under that hand shape.
Mm-hmm.
Then you
Okay,
have this,
okay.
Tuesday,
Thursday. Okay,
Thursday, this,
okay, good.
3, next, so this is the
Yeah, you
3
probably
fingers.
probably want to use this as a basis, but this one is going to be like this hand shape. So we have this and we have this. So it would be, if you had this hand shape, it would go first, followed by something like this, followed by this. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, next, 6,
Yes.
Wednesday,
Yes. Now, what you pointed out,
7.
could you go back up to that? Yeah. No, sorry, to Wednesday and what is it? 3, 6 and Wednesday. This is the way you would organize signs by movement later. Signs that have no movement would go first, and signs that have simple movement would go next, and signs that have complex movement would go next. But we'll
I
talk
see.
about that also.
Yeah, like in the last one.
Yeah.
Meng has her hand up.
Yes, Ming.
So Wednesday, there's a movement.
Yes.
Same as Monday. So
Yes.
Monday would go first, right?
Monday goes
That-
first by Handshape, not by movement. Because Monday is closed. Closed goes before spread. Closed goes before spread. Even though
see.
it's closed and it's inserted, it's still closed. Yes. Okay.
So the M and the W, or the three fingers up, they're all in the same column
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
three fingers.
Yes. And on the left-hand side would be M, and then it would move over to M.
I see.
Okay.
So here we'll go next. We have 7. This is Nat.
Okay.
8.
Let me see 7 again. 7. Yes. Okay. And the reason why we have 7 first is because we move across from radial at the thumb to this, and this. So 7 has 2 fingers, while as 8 only has 1 finger on the radial side. Okay, and then 9, it doesn't have the index on the radial side, it has the mid. So you have it ordered correctly. Okay. Okay, 7.
Okay.
You go down to 8. Yes. Yes. Go down. 9 and
9,
Friday again.
Friday.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Go down.
0.
0. Okay.
We have 4, 5, and
When. Okay.
when.
Well, okay. Good. Go down.
That's it. That's it, sir. That's what we have.
Can you go back up to this one? This Handshake?
Oh, sorry. I'll put it up again.
The very top. The very top. Ah, okay. So let me see. Again. Down, down. Okay. Yeah, okay. Good. Good. I just wanted to check on 10. In Thai sign language and Lao sign language, it's not 10, it's 10. So it starts with this handshake. So it would go in a different place in another sign language. But you have it in the right place for this. Okay, so has the second group come back in yet?
Do you want me
No,
to
no,
keep going, or?
No, I saw everything. I just wanted to check for number 10 because I didn't remember where 10 was.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, has the second group come back yet? Not yet.
Not yet. Meng's hand is up. Sir,
Yes, Meng.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Dr. Woody,
Yes.
in arranging these hand shapes,
In the
we
way,
start with in arranging, so we do
yes,
with the hand shapes that are closed first, like the S, it's
yes,
closed, right?
yes.
And then it opens with the index or the pinky, what in terms of the order.
Starts on the, we haven't talked about this totally yet, but it starts on the radio side. So if you have this, it goes first. And if you have this, it goes next. And then if you have this, it goes next, and then this. So if you don't have the middle two, it goes from this to this.
Sir, because with the number, for example, 6, 7, and 8, and 9, we would arrange it from the other way around. So we start with 9
Well,
then, right?
no, actually, you start with 7 because the mid two fingers are up. I mean, the radial two fingers are up. And then you go to 8 because the index is up, but the mid is not. And then you go to 9 where the mid is up, but the index is not. So we're looking at the extended fingers, not the closed, not the contact fingers.
Okay, so
Yes,
okay.
yes,
One other thing, sir. One other
yes,
question.
yes.
In arranging, what about in terms of being stretched out? It's closed to open or open to close? So if your fingers are stretched out, like or together like this,
Yeah,
and they
closed,
bloom.
closed, and then spread. So if you look, this hand shape occurs before this hand shape, and this hand shape occurs before this, and this hand shape occurs before this.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's implicit in the chart, but in the introduction I sent you, the PPT, not the PPT, PDF instruction I sent you about Yangon Sign Language. It has, let me pull that up so you can kind of see that. Hold on. Now, I don't want to give you too many things to memorize right now. I want you to get kind of comfortable. Yeah, hold on. All right, here we go. So sorry, I can't see it yet. All right. Okay, so in this introduction, so we talk about the 5 parameters, and then we start with hand shapes, and we go to orientation, and we go to location, and then movement. That's right here in the, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it's in the bottom of the first paragraph. Okay. Then why am I not able to go down? Oh, okay. So we organize basically by hand shape, orientation, and location. And if we need more, then we use movement and non-manual. It's hand shape, orientation, and location, where my cursor is right now. And then we talk about hand shapes being organized. So how many fingers are extended, not including the thumb? 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then we talk about the radial side, these two fingers, index and mid, is before the non-radial side. So again, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the relationship of the extended fingers. So non-spread, and then spread, and then crossed. So non-spread, and then spread. And if you want to, crossed. Okay. All right. And then the question is the thumb closed or partially extended or fully extended?
Question, sir. This is Meng.
Yes, Yes, yes.
Because I thought that closed was first, but
Yes.
then what about when you cross? Then isn't crossed more closed than regular closed? If you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but it's more complex. So in many sign languages, you don't have an R. You have no R handshake in Ho Chi Minh City Sign Language. Okay. So if you look again at non-spread, now when we're talking about closed, when we say closed, we mean the thumb is closed, not this part. This part is non-spread, and this part is closed, the thumb. This part is non-spread, spread, and crossed.
What about
Yeah,
this
you
sign,
can.
sir?
Well, this one is very funny. You don't find this one very often. Yeah.
It's to be a peep to peep.
Yeah. So what we would call this is a special kind of R.
Okay.
Okay. So we would put, if you had these, you would put this, 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 and then this.
Okay.
Right. But if you had this one, if you had this one, and you had this one, and you had this one. So this, this, and this. Which goes first? This, yes. This one goes first. And then this one or this one?
Spread.
So it goes non-spread, non-spread with the thumb extended and open, spread. So if you had this one, this one, this one, and then this one, and then this one, and this one, and then this one, whoops, and then this one. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So then we have no extension of thumb, partial extension, and full extension. So no extension of thumb, partial extension, and full extension. No extension of thumb, partial extension of thumb, and full extension of thumb. Yeah. Okay. And then about whether they're straight or bent. So for example, you would have straight, bent, straight, bent, straight, bent. But the chart has all of this on there. This is just an explanation of the chart. So when you're doing the exercises, you don't have to remember all of this. You'll have the chart with you, so you can look at the chart. On the test, you'll also have the chart with you, so you can look at the chart. You know which handshake goes first. Okay, and then we have what we call non-tapered or tapered or non-tapered and tapered. Non-tapered O and tapered. I can't, for some reason on Zoom, I get really confused. Okay, so but anyway, non-tapered, tapered, non-tapered, tapered. And then non-rounded and rounded. And then finally, no contact and contact. Okay, so that's basically all the handshakes. Now, the only thing you have to really remember for the test is to be able to look at the chart and know which handshakes are supposed to go before the others. So be able to read the chart. Then once you read the chart, you can answer the question like, for example, non-spread, spread, which goes first? You look on the chart and you find this is always before this is always before this. So you know non-spread is before spread. Okay, and then the next section will be orientations. But we want to finish with the hand shapes first. Yeah, yes. So first in the orientations, we look at palm and then we look at finger. But I prefer not to get into that yet because you may get confused. We'll make sure we have the hand shapes down. Yes. So again, you remember 1 palm and 2 fingers. Okay. So for example, in the signs that we have like paternal uncle and this sign, in Ho Chi Minh City Sign Language, no orientation difference. But for example, this sign and this sign have orientation differences. Okay?
Nat has a question.
Yes, Nat.
In the first course that you taught, sir, when
Yeah.
we had to write out everything out,
Yes,
it's connected to that.
yes, yes.
Because I remember writing that out.
Yes, yes, yes. And I have a chart here. I'm not sure I should show it to you, but I'll show it to you with the understanding that this is a way off. Okay? So here's a chart that predicts all possible locations. Okay? Inward and upward, inward and to the side, sorry, inward and upward, inward and to the side. Anyway, we'll go through this chart and, make sure you can read it fine. But right now, focus on the handshakes.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So the group 2 not back yet? Still not back?
Looks like they're not yet back, sir.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm thinking about giving you a test either on a quiz, very simple quiz on Thursday or next Tuesday, probably next Tuesday. But I will maybe start going through the questions with you tomorrow to show you what kinds of things you will need to do. And for the test, you may have your Handshape chart with you. Okay, but the questions will be like, okay, so for example, I might have 2 signs like Tuesday and Friday. Which sign goes first? So Tuesday would go first because it would be first in the Handshape chart, and Friday would be later in the Handshape chart.
They're just discussing about the group 2. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt Dr. Woody, but I went to check in with the other group, and they're not yet done. They're needing some 5 minutes, and then they'll be back.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so see, how many more minutes do we stop at? Right now, it's 3:35 your time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we stop at 4 o'clock your time, right?
3:37 now, actually. Peeps is saying.
Okay. Okay, so if you all want to take a break for 5 or 10 minutes, that's fine. And then we can come back and see if lesson 2, if group 2 is ready before we leave for today.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you can relax for maybe 5 minutes. Okay.
Ready, guys? Shaq is saying I'm gonna put it up. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Rand's.
Okay.
I'll just wait for the spotlight. Hold on. Okay.
Okay.
So we're group 2. Kyla, Yami, Ray, myself, and Shaq, and Jasmine. We went into basic numbers and found the one-handed signs of how many, because it starts with this sign.
Yes, good.
That's the first sign, or first shape, rather. Next, we have 10 with this shape, 10.
Yes.
extended thumb. Tomorrow,
Okay,
tomorrow,
yes,
same shape. Next.
yesterday, yes,
Sign yesterday
yes,
using that shape. Same shape. We have one. Tuesday.
mm-hmm,
So one is with that handshake with its finger up, and then T
okay,
for Tuesday.
Thursday,
Thursday starts with T, ends with H, but it starts with T.
right, right,
T.
good,
Number
two,
two. Number two.
yes,
Sorry. Then three.
good, okay,
2, 3. 7. Yami, I don't know why. Yeah, or Jasmine, you want to explain 7? Sorry. Two, but 2 and then 7, right? 2. And Yami saying because the 2 goes before the 7. It starts off with 2, and then it sorry, they're showing a symbol.
yes, I think Nat has a comment,
So
yes,
this symbol can mean 2 this way or another way with the pinky and ring finger, not that. So 6, 7, 8. Sorry, maybe Dr. Woody can do the
yeah,
explanation.
uh,
Sorry.
6 or Wednesday, 6 and then Wednesday, and then 7, wait, 6, first of all, you would have this one because it's not spread. Nat, why don't you go through that part in the group 1 and we can compare.
So
Yeah,
show you
yeah,
mine, sir?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So here we have Monday because it's closed. Then we have
Spread,
6 and Wednesday. So, because of the difference in being opened, closed, and spread. That's how we arranged it. Dr. Wood, is that clear though?
yes, yes, yes. So just basically the Monday handshake is the fingers are not spread, but they are kind of bent. Yeah, so there you see. Can you go to the end of this one here? The end of that row? Okay, no, so. The last one would be this one if you had it, okay? All right. Yeah. And then the reason for this is that you have the fingers on the strongest side of the hand. But when you have this one, the pinky, which is not very strong, is up. So this is why this should go before this. Okay, who was doing group 2? Was Renz? Yeah. No. There are 3 fingers up in 7. There are 3 fingers up. They're not the strongest 3 fingers. In 6, there are 3 fingers up. Okay, but they are the strongest fingers. So that's why 6 goes before 7. Yeah, and then 8, and then 9, yes. Okay, good. Let's go back down to the rents, go back down to the area here. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, good.
So 6, Dr. Whitty? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Mm,
Okay, and then, yeah, go down.
let's go down.
And then Friday, yes. And then good, this 0 is before the 4 because this one is non-spread. Yeah, so that's right, good. Okay, and then the 5 and 5. I think that's it, right?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we don't worry about two-handed yet because, yeah, keep it there is good, and we'll talk about it after we finish the one-handed signs. So, any questions before we close for today? Yeah, Shop? Okay, so tomorrow we will review this and maybe start on orientation, palm orientation of the hand, okay? So I'm thinking also about giving a test maybe on Thursday, but probably on Tuesday of next week. Now, you will have your chart with you, so you can look at the chart for the hand shapes, okay? So I will prepare some study questions. I think you'll find them pretty easy. Once you understand everything, it should be pretty easy to remember. And then you can decide when you want the first, it's not a test, it's a quiz, first quiz.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so any questions before we close? Both groups did a good job. Okay. All right, so no questions. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
right.
interpreters.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.